What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we have some good news that we need to discuss today. We also have some bad news. There's both good and bad going on with everything that we are seeing. We got lawmakers that are saying they want one thing. President Biden and the Biden administration are pushing back. Republicans don't want to see a budget reconciliation bill, so they're trying to get a bipartisan bill done, yet some Republicans say they're not going to go for this. So again, there's a lot of talks, but a lot of the stuff that we're seeing happening right now, we got stimulus checks, we got the American Families Plan, we got Medicare expansion, child tax credits, all these things are on the heels of that one bill. So if we don't see this bipartisan bill pass, all those other things I just listed, well, they're seriously in question. So here's something that I want to address today. What we are hearing is that a handful of economists over the last few days are saying that with over 1.2 million stimulus checks yet to be cashed, that this is a terrible look for another push for a fourth round of direct payments. They say they understand that the American people need this money, but today with the CPI data coming out this morning showing that we are seeing a steep rise in prices and the American people need a way to pay for all these different things, products and services, this is not a good look. Food is increasing in price, gas prices are going up, and we are seeing a rise in rents as well. What I can tell you is that incomes have stayed the same, or incomes have actually dropped. And I want to break this down because a lot of people are saying, well, incomes, we keep seeing reports that income is going up. Well, income is going up. But what we are seeing is that Forbes is reporting that a worker that stays in their job for more than 2 years actually sees a 50% decline in income. And let me explain why this is. When you are in your job, let's say you are a receptionist, right? And let's say you have 5 different receptionists around you, a big office building. Okay, so it's you and 5 others, right? If you've been there and let's say you're making, I don't know, $3,000 a month. Okay, well, let's say a new person comes in, okay? Number 5 comes in, and they're gonna get paid $3,200 per month. Okay, well, income's going up. But you are still stuck at $3,000. So even though the new employees are coming in and the new hires are getting higher wages, the people that have been in that job are stuck. They're going to continue to get raises of 2%, 3%, maybe 5%. That's probably not going to happen. It's going to be around 2 to 3% every single year. Well, how long is it going to take you to go from $3,000 to, let's say, $3,200 at making a 2% increase every single year? It's going to take a little bit. So it'd be better off if you quit that job and go to a new one. And that's one of the reasons why many people at this time are seeing, and the reports are indicating that people are leaving their jobs to simply go somewhere else. And I stated this last week, actually 2 weeks ago. What we're seeing is people leave their job, wait a little bit and then come right back to their job, but yet they're not come back under the same income that they're making before. They want the new hired wages. That's what they want. So we're seeing this, and we're seeing this all over the country. But it's because of these different things. It's because of the increased prices, the stagnant wages, that many people, many lawmakers are arguing that another round of stimulus checks must be included. They say that right now, they know there's over 80 members of Congress that are pushing for a fourth stimulus check, that they're not the only ones. They know that around 30 people in Congress want to see monthly stimulus checks. Most of these are progressives as well. And 7 of these people are from the House Ways and Means Committee. So they have some pretty significant pull when it comes to the next package and whether we see infrastructure include stimulus checks or not. We even know Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer wants to see a $2,000 stimulus check as well. However, some are speculating that he's only saying this because this would kind of help his kind of position and help his the way he looks to many people, because some are saying that he never really wanted to pass additional stimulus checks, that this was something that was coming from President Biden and kind of just pushed down on top of him. So we'll see what happens there. What I can tell you though is this morning the IRS stated that they will be sending out another 4 million unemployment income tax refund checks. Now this is really good news because the IRS has stated that they were going to start sending these out in June, right? Or actually, was it June or May? Maybe it was May. They were going to start sending these out in May. Well, I believe they came out towards the end of May, but then June we didn't see any, or we just didn't hear the reports on it. But according to just a few members here in the community this morning, they said that they received their unemployment income tax refund checks yesterday, so on Monday. So that's actually really good news that the IRS is sending out more checks, and there are supposedly about 4 million people that will receive these. Now, some experts are arguing right now that we need to see Congress step up, because 4 million checks is just a drop in the bucket compared to what is actually needed. The previous stimulus checks, they say, did a great job. They did a great deal of good. They lowered poverty from 44 million people down to 16 million, and that was incredible. But again, that included 3 different stimulus checks. That included $3,200 to the American people. What we are hearing is that economists predict that a 4th stimulus check could further lower the poverty from 16 million down to 12 million. Or if we don't see this, and here's that risk versus reward, is if we don't see this, the downside is we could potentially see 12 million people go back into poverty. So right now it's about 16 million people. If we see additional stimulus check, it will go down to about 12 million. If we don't, it would bump up to about 28 million people. So that risk versus reward, the upside versus the downside. The upside is very small, but it's significant. It's 4 million people. The downside is 12 million people. Okay, so a 300% swing. That's not great. That is not great. And this is what many economists are saying we need to try and prevent. And one report that came out yesterday stated that the CPI data that comes out today should have a huge impact on stimulus talks. It says that the majority of people in poverty are on a fixed income. And we know this, and many of you have already stated that you are on a fixed income as well. And the economists are saying that with rising prices and a fixed income, these people will continue to struggle without a single way out. And this is true. What we know is that right now, Social Security income is struggling. Social Security recipients are having a difficult time because their 1.3% cost of living adjustment that happened in 2021 is just not enough. It's not paying their bills. It's not paying, even their essentials. They just don't have the money that it takes. And they can't go and get a job. They can't go and get a job and subsidize their income. It's just not possible. Lately, though, there has been talks regarding Social Security. Here's the problem. This is where some of the bad news comes in. The Social Security Administration, they're projecting they will run out of money by 2035. Some new projections say this can be all the way up to 2030 or possibly 2032, which is not great news. In a recent survey, about 7% of millennials believe that Social Security will run out sometime in their lifetime, meaning that obviously people that are already collecting Social Security benefits would probably be gone before the Social Security Administration runs out of money. Now, that's both good and bad news, I guess. Okay, I guess depending on the way you look at it. But here's what's being said, and this is not good news. Government officials, okay, and again, I want to be 100% clear on this. So I'll read this twice. Government officials believe the only way to keep Social Security alive is by cutting benefits and raising taxes. Okay? I'm going to read that again. Because again, this is both good. This is not good news. This is where the bad news is coming in. But the good news is we're starting to see where some people are trying to, direct that ship. And I'm going to read it again. Government officials believe the only way to keep Social Security alive is by cutting benefits, bringing your Social Security benefits every single month down, and increasing taxes to the American people. Yeah, that's what government officials are saying, that they believe that's the best way. Now, that's horrible. And this has me wondering, for instance, how can the government cut benefits while we're seeing massive amounts of inflation? So we know that prices are increasing on everything, but yet government officials think the best option at this point is to cut benefits and kind of, extend that gap between what someone makes and what they need. That is mind-boggling. How could anybody think that's the best solution? honestly, I hope this is not something that we see, but that's what at least coming from government officials. And that was a report coming from the Washington Post. Okay, so this is now, as far as the government officials, it's probably wise that the government officials are pretty much staying anonymous on this, because that is not a good look. Now, I don't know if that's a Republican, I don't know if that's a Democrat, I have no clue. But again, that's coming from the Washington Post. Now, on top of that, there is no way people at this point on Social Security can supplement their income. And this is one of the reasons why that kind of, the Social Security Act, it's not the Social Security Act, it's like a supplemental act or whatever, that was coming from Senator Sherrod Brown, I believe. He's actually wanting, I believe it's Sherrod Brown, it might be Senator Wyden from Oregon, it's one of the two, are trying to get a bill passed that would allow people on Social Security to go back to work, go and supplement their income, where they don't see a limit. They can actually have more money in the bank than they have right now. Right? They can do this and see that Social Security is indexed with inflation. Right? We can't just address the problem with the Band-Aid. It has to be completely fixed. And that's creating more and more issues. But according to lawmakers, they want to include popular legislation in this next infrastructure package. We could see something for Social Security. We honestly could. I think now's the time. If we're going to see it, now should be the time. We know that Senator Joe Manchin, he has already laid down his red lines. And I thought these were very interesting. If you remember a couple days ago, actually probably at the end of last week, I stated that Senator Joe Manchin has stated that he would support a bill up to $2 trillion. And I stated that this morning as well, that he wants to see something up to $2 trillion. Bernie Sanders says he'll come down to about 3. He will not come any lower than $3 trillion, but yet the current talks are right about 3.5. Well, today, Senator Joe Manchin stated, and I quote, "I think everything should be paid for. We put enough free money out." So he is essentially saying that as long as it's paid for, he's open to a higher bill. And then he also went on to say this: "I want to make sure we pay for it. I do not want to add more debt on. So if that's $1 trillion or $1.5 trillion or $2 trillion, whatever that comes out to be over a 10-year period, that's what I would be voting for." Now, obviously, he went from $1 trillion to 1.5 to 2. But other reports indicate that he would be open to something higher than 2 as long as it's paid for. So this right here paints a very clear picture of what we need in order to pass through the Senate. With a 50-50 split in the Senate right now, they will need every single Democratic vote, because I guarantee you no Republican is going to vote for a budget reconciliation bill that's a Democrat-only bill. They are not going to support this. Everyone's going to say no. But if Senator Joe Manchin does not like what's in it, or it's not 100% fully funded, he will vote no. And this would kill the bill. This would also hurt Democrats leading into the midterm elections. This means that things like universal pre-kindergarten, again, they're still talking about this. 2 years of free community college, extending the child tax credit payments, and creating a paid family and medical leave program. All these things are considered to be included at this time. And on top of this, they're also discussing free school meals for all. This is a big progressive priority. Democrats want cheaper prescriptions. Progressives want to see extending the tax breaks for the earned income tax credits, subsidizing child care expenses, and the child tax credit itself. But Democrats also want to see renewable energy tax perks as well. This is something that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer also wants to see included as well. We know Democrats want cheaper prescriptions. They're trying to get cheaper prescriptions so that they can save money in the Medicare program so that they can go and include vision, dental, and hearing. This is exactly what Nancy Pelosi said on Sunday, I believe. Okay, so just a couple days ago, Nancy Pelosi said there's a way to pay for this all, but we have to scale back. We have to save money on prescriptions. So it seems like that's something they're willing to do. There are also talks on immigration reform. The Capitol Police are needing funding as well, and this is being included in this infrastructure package also. Democrats want money for the elections. There's worker protections being discussed now as well. Again, we haven't heard about worker protections or business protections from Mitch McConnell. We haven't heard about this since like October or November. So that's pretty big. So this is now coming back. We're also hearing that President Biden wants to include a homeowner's tax credit to help first-time home buyers get into a house. Honestly, I think this would be great as somebody that owns real estate. But if you don't own real estate, the prices are just going to shoot up if President Biden does this. And on top of all that, there's still a plethora of calls for a fourth stimulus check. Again, this is not over. The negotiations are supposed to be coming to an end, but at this time it seems like we are just now getting serious about these negotiations, which creates the big problem. And the next problem is, well, what do we leave out? So that's what we know right now. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. This is one of the reasons why I'm going to continue to do maybe 2, possibly 3 videos a day for the foreseeable future, just so that you can stay up to date on everything that is going out. Over the past couple months, I've missed some information. I missed a decent amount of information because I put the information into 2 different videos. And instead of making 2 30, 40-minute long videos, I've been trying to keep them anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes long so that they're not too overwhelming. But again, this is one of the reasons why I'll probably be going to about 3 videos a day, at least through Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday might jump down to just 2, but hopefully this will keep you updated on everything that's going on. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on, and I'll see you guys on the next one.